Hi, this is Teacher Jennifer from U.S. Citizenship Podcast. Today we're going to talk about the N-400 Part 12 vocabulary. This is our second discussion about this vocabulary. Let's get started. Last week we talked about the N-400 Part 12 vocabulary. However, that video was over an hour long. So today we're breaking out our N-400 vocabulary discussion into a separate video, and we will be recording USCIS Week 8 information about the openings tomorrow. You can watch this video of last week's video, and you could also download the information of PDFs and follow along. Also, we have another video series, a playlist of 18 videos about the N-400 Part 12. Check it out. Register to vote or voter registration. Have you ever registered to vote? No, I have never put my name on a list of voters. No, I have never signed up to vote. Yes, I am registered to vote in the United States. Answer C is incorrect. If you say that you are registered to vote in the United States, you're basically disqualified from becoming a United States citizen because you're violating the most fundamental right of citizenship, fundamental right, duty, and responsibility of citizenship. If you say, no, I never put my name on a list of voters, what is registration? Registration is to put your name and personal information on a list. And in this case, it's a list maintained by the registrar of voters. It's a list of all the eligible voters in the county. Some people also, another way to talk about registration is talking about signing up. This person says, no, I have never signed up to vote. That is a perfectly appropriate answer to this question. The USCIS officer may ask you, why are you not registered? And you say, I'm not a citizen yet. Mental institution. Have you ever been confined to a mental institution? A. No, I have never been in a hospital for mental illness. B. Yes, I stayed in a hospital because I was depressed. Now I am better. And C. Yes, I think about bad things, so I drink and take drugs. Answer C is not correct. If you say that you think about bad things like hurting yourself or hurting other people, and you drink and take drugs, this is basically saying that you are not able to fulfill your responsibilities of citizenship, and this disqualifies you from becoming an American citizen. Now, what is a mental institution? A mental institution is a hospital for mental illness. And what is confined? You're basically staying in you're staying in the hospital because of depression or mental illness. Now that's okay. That's perfectly okay to go and get help when you need it. But in order to become a U.S. citizen, you have to talk about that you've been cured from your problem, you've been cured from your depression, your addiction, your mental illness, and now you're able to fulfill your abilities to become, you're able to fulfill your responsibilities for American citizenship. Taxes. Have you ever failed to file your taxes? No, I pay my taxes every year. No, I have no income. I don't file taxes. And C, yes, I said that I was a non-citizen. If you answer C, yes, I said that I was a non-citizen, You basically are denying that you were a permanent resident in order to get out of paying taxes, which is a duty of every resident, whether you're a citizen or non-citizen in the citizen or a resident in the United States. So, because you're saying that you're a non-resident, you're basically denying that you're a legal permanent resident and basically have disqualified yourself from becoming a U.S. citizen. Now, the problem with this question is that some people get tripped up on the word fail to file. What is file? File is to send in your tax reforms. Fail to file means you didn't do it. So this person basically says that they pay their taxes every year. And this person here doesn't have an income. Some people don't make enough money to pay taxes. So when they said they did not fail to file, that means that they didn't have to send in the application. Did they fail to file? No. The next one is totalitarian party or dictator. Have you ever been a member of a totalitarian party? No, I have never joined a government group that totally controls the people. Answer B. Yes, I help the government take away people's rights and freedoms. If you answer number B, you're basically disqualifying yourself from U.S. citizenship because the Constitution protects people's rights and freedoms. So if you basically are taking away people's rights and freedoms, that means that you cannot fulfill your responsibilities as an American citizen. If you said that you basically, so one of the big questions is or an easy way to remember what totalitarian party is totalitarian party totally controls the people. So they basically, the party is the law, and they can do whatever they want to do because they have complete or total control over the people. That is a membership in a group that you do not want to be in. Rebel group. Have you ever been a member of a rebel group? No, I have never fought against the government. Yes, I was in a group that used violence to overthrow the government. Answer B is incorrect because when you use violence to basically fight against your government or to overthrow the government, you're you're unable to fulfill the responsibilities of American citizenship because you're resorting to violence instead of using the vote to change the government. So, what is a rebel? A rebel is somebody who fights against the government. Gang. What is a gang? A gang is a group of criminals. So have you ever been a member of a group, a gang, that used weapons to threaten people? Answer A. No, I have never been a part of a group that used weapons. Answer B. If a person did not follow us, we would use weapons to hurt them. Answer B will disqualify you from American citizenship because once again you're using weapons to force people to do something that's against their will and basically violates their civil rights. So you want to, if you belong to any groups, you want to make sure that you belong to a non-violent group. Membership in violent groups disqualifies you from American citizenship. Worked in a prison. Have you ever worked in a prison or labor camp? Answer A. No, I have never worked in a place where people who break the law must stay. B. Yes, I worked in a prison. We followed the law and did not hurt people. Answer C. Yes, I was a guard in a labor camp. I forced people to work. So answer C is going to disqualify you from U.S. citizenship because you're violating people's civil rights. You're basically to force them to work against their wants and desires, and you're basically imprisoning them against the law. Now, some people do work in a prison. I myself have worked in a prison teaching English as a second language. But did we hurt people? We did not do that. We followed the law. So there's some people who are criminals that do need to be in prison, but these people prisoners still have the rights, and the people who work there cannot violate their rights. And this one here, what is a prison or a labor camp? Well, prison is a place where people who break the law, they have to stay there. But a labor camp is a place where people are forced to work. And if they do not fulfill if they do not work, if they don't do their work in situations which is almost like slavery, then and if they don't do their work, they're killed. That is an illegal detention place, and you are basically violating their human rights. Child soldier. Have you ever forced a child under 15 to help or serve in an armed group? Answer A. No, I have never forced a child under 15 to become a soldier or help a fighting group. So you're protecting the child from exposure to violence and learning how to basically kill other people. But some people answer this one, yes, I force children to work and fight for my rebel group. If you answer yes, you are basically disqualified for U.S. citizenship because, again, you have violated the person's civil rights. Green card marriage or immigration benefit. Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit? This person says, no, I wanted to marry my spouse. I did not marry him or her to get a green card. So again, they're basically entering into marriage, maybe for love, maybe not for love, but they're willing to live and basically support this person in their marriage. That's okay. Some people, however, want to shortchange their path to citizenship. So instead of coming here legally and staying 5 years as a legal permanent resident, they try to marry an American citizenship so they can come to the United States and basically quickly get on the path for citizenship so they can get a provisional green card, and then after they've had their green card for 3 years, they can become U.S. citizens. So this person, they wanted to marry their spouse, not because they wanted to be married, but because they wanted the green card. They wanted that immigration benefit. That was the point of engaging in the marriage. And a lot of times there is human trafficking involved, and also the exchange of money. So you want to say no to this one. Now this one is about the U.S. Constitution and the form of government. I'm going to go into depth about this because it gets very confusing. So in the Constitution, it talks about the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. It basically provides our plan of government. That's what the Constitution does. So the question is, do you support the Constitution and the form of government of the United States? Answer A. Yes, I support the Constitution and the form of government of the United States. Perfect answer. This answer here, no, I do not support the Constitution and the form of government of the United States. If you say no, you have disqualified yourself from U.S. citizenship. The officer possibly will ask you this question again because maybe they're thinking this person's just saying no, no, no because they've been saying no to all the questions in Part 12. They may ask you this question again, and if you say no, you have disqualified yourself from the United States because this means you're not going to follow the Constitution, which is our highest law. And so this is a little bit different. Now, some people may need to take may need to adjust some of the promises they make during the oath of allegiance, but they are still supporting the Constitution and they're still supporting the government, even though they cannot bear arms. So what is the Constitution? Classic answer. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. B. The Constitution is our plan of government. Or C. The Constitution is the highest law in the United States. The difficult question is, what is the U.S. form of government? Here it gets a little bit tricky, and so I'm going to build up to this answer. The U.S. is the democracy. So notice you're using the to be verb is, and you're using a noun, democracy. Or you can also say the U.S. is a republic. These are two forms of democracy that are popular in the West. What is the U.S. form of government? The United States has a democratic form of government. So note that instead of using the verb to be, you're using the verb have. Or you can say the United States has a Republican form of government. So here you're using democratic or Republican as an adjective. And what are you modifying? You're modifying the verb, the noun form. What is the U.S. form of government? Another possible answer is the U.S. government is based on the Constitution. So if you say this, you have a very clear idea of what the purposes of the Constitution and how it basically forms our government. Another answer you could say is the United States is a constitutional republic. And this is probably the classic answer that many of our legal scholars would give, that it's a constitutional republic or it's a federal republic. Answers like this. A little bit more advanced, you may want to go for something very simple on this one. What you cannot say, however, is the United States as a Democrat or the United States as a Republican. Now, a lot of people answer these questions in this way because they're thinking of the question, what is the political party of the president now? We're not asking you about what political party is in power. We're asking you about the form of government. So if you're talking about a Democrat, which is a member of the Democratic Party, you're talking about a person. You're not talking about the idea or the government. If you say the U.S. is Republican, you're basically, again, referring to a member of the Republican Party. Again, this is represented by the elephant, and sometimes you see GOP, which means Grand Old Party. Again, this is not appropriate, even if the party right now of the president is Republican. You cannot say the United States is Republican. You can say that it's a republic, or you can say that let's go back. You can say that it is a republic because it's a constitutional republic, or you can say that it's based on the Constitution. That's fine. You can say that you could talk about the form of government, and you can say it's a democratic form of government or a Republican form of government. That's great. A little bit long. You can say simply it's a democracy or it's a republic. Again, those are things. Those are political concepts. But if you're talking about Democrat and Republican, you're talking about a person. You're talking about a member of a group. And that is not an appropriate answer to the form of government. So that's the end this week. Stay home, stay healthy, stay strong, and I know you will be a great American citizen. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.